All right. Happy, what is today? Wednesday. Yeah. What if Wednesday? Happy Wednesday night. Welcome on into the Hat Creek Interior Studios tonight. We got a fun daily broadcast for you. A lot of Texas Tech basketball midweek. We got Texas Tech men waiting to get back in action at West Virginia. So we get a chance to talk about the seed line right now, going into the final month of the regular season. Hey, I know you got two games in March before the Big 12 tournament, but we're going to find out tonight where you think Texas Tech is going to end up. What's the high level? What's the low level on the seed line? We're required by the FCC to engage in Super Bowl hype. Tonight, you have one coach to win one game. Who would you choose all time to coach your team in a Super Bowl? Any coach, any era, anytime. And what if Wednesday we go alternate history for Cowboy fans? It's about this time every year we have this discussion. I think it's still worth having. What if Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones didn't break up? They stayed together. What happens to the Cowboys during the rest of the decade of the 90s and beyond? All right, let's get you going tonight on the broadcast here in the Hat Creek Interior Studios. In three, in two. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com, the website. Start your day there every day. We give you our questions, our thoughts, what's going on, and of course, Raiderland Hot Links brought to you by Jackson Brothers Meat Locker in Post, Texas. They ship to you. Get online. Probably can't ship to you for the Super Bowl now. You waited too late. That's all right, though. They can handle all your meat processing. Finest meats and cheeses. Get their world famous jerky. Brought to you by South Plains College. The road to Raiderland runs through Levelland. A lot of great Red Raiders started off as great Texans. Spring semester already underway. But go there, find out. They do continuing education, all sorts of stuff all during the year. And then, of course, during summer school and everything else, South Plains College is here for you. And it's What If Wednesday. What if Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson could have played nice? What would have happened? You tell us. You don't have to ask what if you have Shropshire Insurance of Texas on your side. Independent, just like you. Give Jeff Shropshire and his staff a call this week. Tell them we sent you. Get your insurance right. For goodness sakes, it's not that hard to do. Based in Lubbock, big enough for the whole state of Texas. Shropshire Insurance of Texas. Everybody gets in on the United Supermarkets chat line, including Craig, who jumps in on Facebook. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on Facebook. Indeed, the talking box is on. That's one of the old guys. Going back to the days of Periscope, and me and David Collier hanging out. So there you go. Yeah, the talking box is on. Glad to have you on the United Supermarkets chat line, whether you're on Facebook, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Maybe you're on our YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, share. It means a lot to us. We're going over 700 subscribers. Maybe tonight you could be the one. Easy to do. All you got to do is subscribe. It don't cost nothing. And then we've got everybody on our Twitter X feed at Ryan Hyatt Media. So that's what we're doing tonight. Texas Tech seed line. Where do you think the Red Raiders are going to end up? Super Bowl hype. You got one coach to win one game. Who would you choose and why? And then what if Wednesday? What if Jimmy Johnson coaches the Cowboys all through the 90s? What do you think happens? Do they not lose the next year during the Barry Switzer running down the sideline escapades at San Francisco? Do they get back to the Super Bowl? Do they beat the Chargers that year? Do they keep winning again like they did the next year when they beat the Steelers? What happens after that? What do you think happens? I have thoughts. Because some of the things that changed in the NFL are independent of Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones staying together as a couple. Now, we know what's happened with the organization since then. But we also know what happened to Jimmy Johnson after that. Where did he go? What did he do? How much did he win? Why did he win? Why did he not win? You tell us tonight on that. All right, get in on the United Supermarkets chat line. Don't cost nothing. A lot of fun. And we got a lot of different things you can. And by the way, if we're not talking about something you want to talk about, all you got to do is jump in, fire away questions, comments, and everything else. So Texas Tech, you look at hoopsht.com, you look at bracketville.wordpress.com. The two sites we say those are the ones you pay attention to. Pay attention to nobody else because all the other stuff, Joe Lunardi sucks at his job. He's horrible. Now, why does ESPN keep him on? Because he's horrible. And he's all over the place. And he puts the so-called right teams in there, but it don't matter. He's bad at his job. The only two you pay attention to, hoopsht.com, Chad Sherwood and the crew, David Griggs, and then Dave Almond. We've had them both on the last 2 weeks. I think the highest seed, pardon me, that Texas Tech can get to right now is a 3. If you wanted to do better than that, you can't lose to Central Florida on the road. You could have lost to Kansas, but you needed to beat Kansas. You gave away a little bit over the last 2 games of what you did against Houston. Great win against Houston, awesome win, but you gave a little bit back. You were going to have to claw higher than that. So I think the highest, and this would involve beating Arizona at Arizona. All right? You got to beat those people. You can't lose, by the way, to West Virginia and Colorado coming up. I think the highest is the 3 seed that you can get to right now. Stephen jumps in on the United Supermarket chat line. United Supermarkets, supporting Texas Tech in West Texas. There is the grocery store in Lubbock that takes your money and sends it down south to Austin and puts their name on stuff. And then there's the one here in West Texas, Lubbock, and beyond in the Metroplex that supports Tech. Jimmy Stays wins 4 more Super Bowls. Not 4 more. 4 more? Like 4 instead of 3, not 4 more. Jerry's ego grows even more, and he ends up with paternity suits. Well, half that's true anyways. No way they're ended up with 4 more Super Bowls. I think at most 2. Probably just 1 if Jimmy stays. Probably just 1. Either the year that the Niners beat the Chargers or maybe the year after that if you can hold some stuff together. Chris, Cowboys would have been there, would have been the first and only team to go back to back to back to back. After that, free agency would have made it tough to maintain that level. 2 things, free agency and really the salary cap that Jerry Jones created. A lot of Cowboy fans conveniently forget it was Jerry Jones in the early 90s who was banging the drum the loudest, wanting the salary cap. Got to have the salary cap. Got it in. It was the salary cap that killed the Dallas Cowboys after the mid-90s. More so than I think even Jimmy Johnson being gone, it was the salary cap. Could Johnson have navigated it better if he'd had the voice in the room? Does he have a better chance of trying to get through it, dumping dead weight salary, understanding what was going on? Maybe, maybe not. The rise of the Packers, the rise of the Broncos in the AFC. Niners are just kind of there. Really, it was the Packers that were ascending because they had a quarterback on a rookie contract, or not a rookie contract, but a traded contract at an undervalued era during that era. Yeah. All right. So what if Wednesday, if Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson stay together, what do you think happens? What transpires in Dallas? You give that to me on the United Supermarket chat line. Let's talk Texas Tech basketball. What do you think they end up on the seed line in the NCAA tournament and Super Bowl hype? You can have any coach all time coach your team in the Super Bowl. We have 1 game to win. Now we have 2 weeks to prepare. You have 1 game to win. Who do you want? George freaking Halas. Get Halas. Lombardi, the very name, evokes images of snow and frozen tundra. Jimmy Johnson, Bill Belichick. Who do you want? Who do you get? So you got 1 game to win. Bill Walsh, right? What did Bill Walsh do in the Super Bowl? Bill Walsh won Super Bowls. Chuck Noll, what did he do in the Super Bowl? He won Super Bowls. That you've got this one game to win. You can have any coach all time come in, and that coach runs the show for 2 weeks, getting ready, game day, anybody, anything. I mean, Lombardi in championship game settings, 5 NFL titles, 2 Super Bowls, first 2 Super Bowls. He must have been good. They put his name on the trophy. Who do you have coaching your team? One game to win. Fire away, United Supermarkets chat line. We're going to hang out tonight as long as the conversation is fun, good, and otherwise. And otherwise, I got like frozen pizza, man. I mean, I got high level frozen pizza tonight for supper. Actually, that's not true. I don't think. I think the wife is cooking. JC Double T. Cowboys would have kept winning Super Bowls, assuming 22-88. Probably 1 or 2 more. More importantly, would more Jimmy years have rubbed off on Jones dealing with free agents and the cap? There's the question. You got to it at the end. You got to it at the end. Maybe, possibly, if Jimmy Johnson is the voice in the room, the adult in the room, the football voice in the room, beyond Larry Lacewell, beyond Stephen Jones, beyond a couple of other people, would that have resonated and mattered? Now, Jimmy Johnson goes on and he coaches for Wayne Huizenga in Miami. Not a bad setup, not a bad deal. Good owner, plenty of money. Could not replicate the success that he had in Dallas. Again, the cap comes in. So, would he have been the voice that changes things? Would he have realized or understood in the early implementation of the cap in the mid 90s, we've got to get rid of the old guys and do what Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft did in New England so effectively 2 different times on a 1.0, 2.0, and get rid of the old guys, go young guys, don't invest in positions, don't overpay for long-term guys, don't overpay for Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman. Would he have done that? I don't know that he would have been able to do that. And JC comes right back in before I can get there. Ari, previous comment, Parcells didn't rub off, so we doubt it. And that's the thing. I don't know that after the success of the early 90s that anybody gets to Jerry Jones, that anybody can make Jerry Jones change his modus operandi. And then that was the thing in the late 90s. Dead money. The Cowboys were like the kings of dead money. They wouldn't get rid of anybody. They overpaid for stars, second contracts, third contracts. They wouldn't do it. Meanwhile, New England, the burgeoning New England empire of the early 2000s, gapped in between by the Broncos and the Packers of 95 to 01, 2000, right in through there. Packers and Broncos gapped that early cap era. And they probably hit it a little better than Dallas, that they didn't have a ton of money tied up. So yeah, the impact of Johnson coaching and Johnson voice in the room on GM / personnel moves, 2 different things, right? Would it have mattered? I don't know. That's why it's a great what if. I think it's easy to say for Cowboy fans that if they stay together, man, the Cowboys just keep on winning through the rest of the 90s. I disagree with that. I think maybe there is one more Super Bowl, and you might trade one for another. That you might trade the one you get in 95 for one you can get in 94, the 94 season where San Francisco beat you out there and they go beat the Chargers. Maybe you get that one, but you don't get the next one. But I don't see anything that tells me, as the rest of the NFL is evolving, again, Packers in the NFC, that's going to change. Craig, unfortunately, Jerry Jones is too much of a narcissist to allow anyone to succeed in Dallas. It's hard for me to argue based on what we've seen to this point. So that's the what if Wednesday question. What do you think happens if Jones doesn't leave, or pardon me, Johnson doesn't leave Dallas? They get along. What's the rest of the decade? Texas Tech men's basketball. Let's talk about that before we get out of here tonight. The seed line. What do you think Tech's going to end up seeded in the NCAA tournament? As we go through the second week, I mean, we're already really getting into it. I mean, you're going to be in the second week when you go to West Virginia and play on Super Bowl Sunday, Colorado after that. Then it's the massive Valentine's Day game against Arizona, Arizona State, and then K-State. Next 2 weeks. Where do you think you end up? After the Houston game, I thought there was a chance that Texas Tech could get to the 2 line. And there was. After the back-to-back losses, though, I think now the ceiling on this team is probably the 3 line. And what we've seen out of this team, they're still shaky depth-wise, even as you get people back, even as you get Bamboye back, Mosley, coming back into it. You get a few more pieces. It just strikes me as a team that struggles to hold on in the second half. Good, bad, or otherwise. We saw it against Colorado, and you won, and you saw it against Houston where you hung up, half 100 on them in the first half, and then you were still struggling to hang on the second half. That appears to be this team. We still don't know exactly why Christian Anderson did not play Monday night against Kansas. Nothing nefarious going on, I think. I don't understand why in this day and age we just can't say, somebody had the shits or, something happened and whatever, just it's okay. We can say that. George Brett had hemorrhoids in the 1980s. We knew it. He couldn't play. He had hemorrhoids. So, that little aspect, I'm not worried about that going forward on this team. I just think we're seeing who they are, that they fade down the stretch in games right now for different reasons. Now, can different players get better going forward that could help that out and change that? Sure, yeah. Lawan Watts, after a couple of games where I think Grant McCasland was ready to kill him right before the half at UCF on shot selection, he balled out and tried to get you through that game Monday night. That's a good thing, right? Getting some people back. 3, I think, is the ceiling. All right. 3 is the ceiling. I think the 4 or 5 line is probably where this team ends up at the end of the day, that it will teeter more to the 4 or 5 than the 3-4 in the coming weeks. Now, that changes, obviously, over the next 2 weeks. If you get wins at Arizona, you're running the table at that point, and you're closing out with wins in the regular season. Against still got BYU one more time, TCU as well. But for now, I think you teeter more 4-5 than 3-4. This is life in the Big 12, though. It gives you opportunities. So, worst case scenario. What's the worst case scenario? You lose Arizona. You drop a game, Kansas State, or I don't know, Cincinnati, somewhere through there. You drop a game like that. Then I think the worst case scenario is the 6th seed. Not the worst horrible line, not horrible, not brutal. And the biggest thing I think that Tech fans are going to have to understand is no matter what happens in the regular season, when you go to the Big 12 tournament, you aren't going to be able to make up a seed line. The Big 12 tournament now is reserved for basically the team that won the regular season to reinforce a 1 seed and a team that is not in the tournament to run the table and get in. That's it. All right. That's it. How about Jerry Lamb? I have no idea what that means. Robert. Craig, what was Tech's seeded championship game run? 3 seed. Alan, there's a log jam in the top 16. Being a 5 seed isn't a bad deal this year. Okay, great comment here by Alan. And it's something we're going to talk about over the next week or so. I've got a couple of different guests that I want to get on to talk about the fact that this year is really interesting, that it's the death of the mid majors, that the killer 5 to 12 seeds, mid majors out there, they're not out there this year. That's not really happening. That we've got a more true seed line, 1 through 8, that we've ever had, because we're not plugging in some of these numbers with the mid-major team here, the mid-major team there, and what they might do. So what you're saying there, logjam in the top 16, being a 5 seed, not a bad deal. I agree. The idea of the 12-5, and I'll call it right now. Alan, remember it, write it down, and I know you hold me to it. There will not be a 12-5 upset this year. All right? There you go. I think the gap between the 12 and the 5 this year is going to be bigger than it's ever been. And usually we don't have a lot of 12-5 upsets. Usually it's just one. JC Tech goal, top 4 seed. Folks healthy and can now figure stretch rotation. Finally, Big 12 tournament is an afterthought, if not double by. Yeah, it's an afterthought all the way around. The tournaments now, for any of the top 4 level seeds, the committee doesn't care. Alan, Stephen F. Austin would be the sexy 12 seed pick and could wind up as a 10-11 seed. I mean, he's not even the father of the country. He's the son of the father of the country. So, I don't know. Stephen F. I mean, Moses Austin. If it was Moses rocking the 10-11, yeah, I could see that. But Stephen, I don't know. That's just me. You know? That's just me on the Stephen F. Austin thing. No, I'm getting messages on the super secret line over here. Hold on. Got that. Don't know about that. Yeah, that's good. Let's see. Other news today: Zarnell Fitch no longer with Texas Tech as a defensive line coach. Kind of surprised some people on the football side, you know. Unless you're a coordinator, here's the deal. Unless you're a coordinator, I really don't care when it comes to football coaches now, and particularly at Texas Tech, because the old thing used to be so and so's a good recruiter, so and so's good on the road, so and so. You know who the recruiter is? James Blanchard. That's your recruiter. 100%. That's it. That's all that matters. Let's see, Robert. Jerry put the salary cap so he could use the Cowboys as a marketing company. Well, yeah. And it's worked out beautifully on that front. Alan, he's joining Gary Patterson at South Carolina. That's the word talking about Zarnell. And that's where he came from. He was at TCU. He's got strong ties to Patterson, so no surprise there. But some people were kind of freaking out today or whatever on social media. I'm like, again, 1, position coach, 2, not a coordinator, 3, not a recruiter. JC double T'd on YouTube. YouTube. Right now it's Raiderland on YouTube. Subscribe, like, share. Don't cost nothing. 1 to 5 seeds, very narrow band. Chasm appears. I hate it when the chasm appears. Finch not talking to recruits, not his depth. You said as I texted. Well, okay, yeah, there you go. But I mean, it was kind of, hey, thank you, Zarnell Fitch, for coming in, doing a great job, coaching them up. 100%. I don't want anyone to think that I'm, saying, oh, yeah, he wasn't any good, doesn't matter. No, 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 no. That's not it. Not it at all. Great job. Will forever be a part of Red Raider history and lore. Thank you. And I wish him well. I hope, great job. That's not it. It's just it's a different era now when we talk. I think position coaches and what they do, how they do at Texas Tech. Not every school at all, but at Texas Tech, it's a different deal. It's all about the coordinators, head coach, and Blanchard. And that's fine by me. It seems to be working. Oh, and I meant to talk about it earlier in the last couple of minutes. How many of you guys have seen and watched the Netflix documentary Miracle, the Boys of 80 on the U.S. hockey team, 1980, gold medal winners, everything else? I don't know how many of you have seen it. I'm not giving anything away. I'm not even going to tell you whether they won the gold medal or not. They won the gold medal. So I was 10 years old when this happened. So I have great memories of it and can remember the socioeconomic landscape of the United States at the time, coming out of the Carter era, into the Reagan era, into the 1980s, everything you could imagine. I know, I was a dork. I was paying attention to stuff like that. All right? Paying attention to it. This documentary does the best job I've seen of blending the hockey and why it mattered to America at the time. All right? So good. Now, if you were not born or, younger than me and like my brother's age and, he was alive, but he wouldn't have remembered anything about it or anything else. You can watch it. You can get a great history lesson on it. It is so good. So good. And if you hadn't seen it, go watch it. Let's see. Robert, Tech will be a mid-3 seed. I hope you're right. That means you're going to beat Arizona and close out pretty much with wins. Let's see. Jack, he's there on Facebook. No, that's YouTube. I screw that up every time. He's there on YouTube. Right now it's Raiderland. Thank you for being out there. Appreciate you enjoying the stream. And we don't do anything without you guys. So that's why I say the Power of 5 every night. We got great sponsors: United Supermarkets, Shropshire Insurance of Texas, South Plains College, Hattie Creek Interiors, all on Facebook. If 5 of you wonderful people go there tonight and tell them thanks for supporting Raiderland and then tag me in it, I'll give you a shout out tomorrow. All right? I'll tell you thanks. So yeah, the documentary last night, watched it with my wife and my mom, my sainted mother. And it was really, really good. Try not to get emotional, Try not to get emotional watching it. It's hard though, because so the guys, so in 80, I'm basically, 10, 11 years old. But those guys today, they were in their early 20s, mid 20s. And I don't know how many of you are older like me, but you have friends who are 10 years older, right? You have friends who graduated 10 years before you now, and that's not unusual. And you go, holy crap, that's that could be so-and-so. Now, when you're 10, 20 seems so old. When you're 10, 11 years old, 25-year-old guy, oh, crap, yeah. Hey, when you're 56, a 66, 67-year-old guy, yeah, they're in your wheelhouse. And to watch them get to relive and share those stories was unbelievable cool to me on that. JC, he was very good, but yeah, TCU and Patterson guy to the bone. Blanche department does have added benefit of protecting recruits during coaching carousel. Yeah, 100%. Craig, it's on my docket to watch as soon as I finish my audiobook, Christine. Hold on. Audiobook, Christine? Are you talking Stephen King, Christine? The car book? Is that it? You know? Christine, really? Randy Wade. Craig Weir, you are correct. Jerry, the owner, needs to fire Jerry, the GM. Unfortunately, the Cowgirls will never win as long as Jones family members own the teams. Here's the good news, Randy. Based on the ownership and the family, it's probably only another 75 or 80 years of the Jones family owning the Cowboys, based on the way things look. So, Randy, I don't know how old you are, but if you can hang out for another 75 or 80 years, then it will probably change. Craig, yeah, the car book. Stephen King reading audiobook Christine. One that's weird. Two, have you not seen the movie? Oh, have you not seen the movie, Craig? Have you not seen the movie, Christine? Timbo, I was 14 and 80 historic. Yeah, you're just slightly older than me. Thanks for the recommendation. Watch it. Miracle, The Boys of 80. You're going to love it. It's awesome. It's incredible. And he understands what I'm talking about of what it meant generationally and for all of us in America at the time when America had got their nuts kicked in during the 70s on so many different fronts. And that's not political. That's not political party. That's just reality. And Americans needed something to celebrate, um, and they gave you something. JCTT, I'll check it, but have the brooms start sweeping in Milan at 3 a.m. Something's going on in Italy. Yes, I've seen the movie. It's one of my favorite movies. I just want to know what is different between the two. Well, you are a sick, twisted son of a. Can't wait to find out what's different. All right, you guys are the best. We're going to jump out. We've had fun tonight. Tomorrow is what? Thursday. That's right. Overrated, underrated, rated right Thursday. You know? Overrated, underrated, rated right Thursday. I have no idea what the topic will be, but it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be awesome. We'll have some more Super Bowl hype for you. We'll get you closer to the weekend and Texas Tech basketball, Lady Raiders softball starting on Friday. Man, everything's about to get going. Baseball next weekend there in Arlington. So this is kind of just a little bit of the quiet before the storm, just a tick of the quiet before the storm, but it's great. I'm going to ask you guys to do one more thing for me tonight. One more time, I'm going to ask you support our sponsors by tagging them on Facebook, social media, South Plains College, Shropshire Insurance of Texas, and then, of course, Hat Creek Interiors and United Supermarkets. Tag them, tell them thanks, tag me, put it in there, and we'll give you a shout out tomorrow. Share it and subscribe to all of our platforms. They're all free. If you're not on our YouTube channel, right now it's Raiderland. Subscribe, like, share free. Same thing on Facebook and Twitter X. I know a lot of you guys are on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. Y'all are the best. You got to hit this button here. Hold on a second. I got to see if I can strike a seductive pose. That's so weird. I'm not going to do that. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. TheRaiderland.com.